Good afternoon, everyone. I'm sharing my screen and then we'll start today's session. Okay, I give the summary what we discussed in the previous sessions. Previous sessions we discussed about exception handling. Exception handling. We discussed about the exception handling, and we can handle the exceptions by using keywords. Try keyword, catch keyword. Finally, throws and throw keyword. Throws and throw keyword. So throw keyword, which is used to create the exception programmatically or manually, and throws keyword, which is used to hand over the checked exception or unchecked exception to the caller method or JVM, is called throws keyword. Okay, that is the functionality of, that is the purpose of the throws keyword. Try keyword, which is used to keep the risky code inside the try block. Next we have catch keyword. Catch is the keyword which is used to catch the exception. It can catch the exception, and instead of catch exception we can display some other message. We can display other message. So this we discussed in the last session, and before that exceptions we discussed about file handling. File handling. File handling is a very important area in every programming language. So there itself we learned about like how to create the files, how to delete the files, how to pass the data from Java file to from Java program to file, and how we can convert one file to the Java program. This Java program. So how we can write the data to the file using Java program. So these are the things we learned in that file handling. These are the things we can learn file handling. So before that we learned about OOPS principles, and we learned about I would say inheritance, and we learned about polymorphism, and we learned about abstraction. So after the OOPS principles we learned about the file handling, and after that we learned about the exception handling. What is multi-threading? Why the JDK people they introduced this topic actually? What does it mean by multi-threading? So we'll go ahead with one by one. So first we'll go with normally you should be familiar with few of the words. Task. What is task? Task means some work. For example, if I give the task to you, then what does it mean? I am assigning some work for you, so you have to do that work and then you have to submit that work. That is the task. Okay, so normally task means work. Okay, so what is single tasking? What is single tasking? Single tasking meaning if you do one work at a time, then that is called single tasking. In the name itself, we have the clear meaning. Single tasking, task meaning work. Okay, that is good. Single tasking meaning, single tasking meaning we can perform only one task at a time is called single tasking. The same thing I am writing here, performing. I can say performing only one task. Performing only one task at a time is called single tasking. Is called single tasking. Hello. అవును. బ్రో కొద్దిగా సౌండ్ వాల్యూమ్ ఎక్కువ. బ్రో కొద్దిగా వాల్యూమ్ ఎక్కువ. Yeah, sorry guys. So we are discussing about multi-threading. So task meaning is small. Any work is called task, and a single tasking meaning performing one task at a time is called single tasking. Normally, what are the examples comes under the category of a single tasking meaning? For example, so now what I'm explaining some task, right? Explaining some task. Not only this, normally I'm giving some examples, explaining topic, and I would say some dictate the notes, and you can say some asking the questions. These all comes normally single tasking meaning we can perform only one task at a time is called single tasking. Single tasking. These are the examples explain topic dictating. Not only the whatever you can say a number of examples. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. So here, if you go with the single tasking, what are the drawback? Actually, it will take a lot of time to complete our work. What is the disadvantage if you go with the only single tasking? So it will take lot of time to complete our work to complete our work. So this is the one drawback if you go with the single tasking. So that is the reason we have the concept that is the multitasking. We have the topic that is concept that is the multitasking. Then what is the purpose of multitasking? What is the purpose of multitasking? Multitasking meaning so performing multiple tasks at a time. Multiple tasks at a time is called multitasking. multitasking. Okay, is called multitasking. Okay, fine. Now, so what are the examples we can say in multitasking? I would say we can say speaking and meanwhile listening the music. So I would say reading and eating. Let's say reading and writing. So parallelly, if you see some of them, they will do parallel works at a time. Parallel works at a time. Okay. So reading and eating, and if you see uh, like so some of them they will do like speaking and writing. So these are there are number of examples. There are number of examples. If we go with the single tasking, we have the one drawback. We have one disadvantage. What is the disadvantage is it will take a lot of time to complete a work. That is the reason JDK team they bring us one topic, that is multitasking. Okay, what is the purpose of multitasking? Multitasking, performing multiple tasks at a time is called multitasking. Performing multiple tasks at a time is called multitasking. So if you go with the multitasking approach, you can overcome this drawback. We can overcome this drawback. So note point I can say here, if you if we perform multitasking, if we perform multitasking, then we complete we complete multiple works at a time, multiple works at a time. So that is only we want to our goal is also same, right? So that is the reason. If you go with the only single tasking, so it will take a lot of time to complete our work. So that is the reason JDK people they bring us the concept, that is the multitasking. Multitasking. Okay, so multitasking meaning parallelly at a time you can do multiple works is called multitasking. If you go with the multitasking approach, if you go with the multitasking approach, then we can complete multiple works at a time. Multiple works at a time. Okay. I hope this is clear. Are you guys clear with my points? Like what does it mean by single tasking and what does it mean by task and what does it mean by multitasking? So I hope you guys are clear with my points, right? Okay, fine. Now let's go ahead with the multitasking we can achieve in two ways. Multitasking we can achieve in two ways. Multitasking we can achieve in two ways. In two ways. One is called process based multitasking and second one is called process based multitasking, and the second one is thread based multitasking. Thread based multitasking. Thread based multitasking. Multitasking. Okay, so what are the examples for process based multitasking? Our OS only, guys. So our OS. So every system has our OS, right? So mm in our system, so parallelly it is also doing a multiple tasks at a time. Multiple tasks at a time. Multiple tasks at a time. So I will show you normally. Mm, if you open the control panel, so Now you can see here the task manager. So parallelly it is doing these many functions, these many tasks which is doing. Okay, so I can say process based meaning the best example is our OS only, our operating system only. So at a time it can do a parallel multiple tasks. For example, if you can see here, I'm running IDs, multiple IDs like Visual Studio I am running, and Eclipse I am running, IntelliJ I am running, and Prism Live is also I am running. And these many things I am able to do at a time. At a time. So that we can do the multiple tasking in two ways. Process based is the on multitasking, and what is the process based multitasking example is our OS in our system. We can have the OS, right? So that is the one example for process based multitasking. That is one example for process based multitasking. I hope this is clear. Next point, we can go ahead with the thread based multitasking. Thread based multitasking, what is the purpose of thread based multitasking generally? So generally we write the Java programs, and the purpose of thread based multitasking is to execute our program logics parallelly, to execute our program logics parallelly then we need to go for thread based multitasking. Then we need to go for a thread based multitasking. thread based multitasking thread based multitasking thread based multitasking. So what is the advantage with the thread based multitasking? So using thread based thread based multitasking multitasking our programs can complete work quickly. our programs our programs our programs can complete work quickly can complete work quickly work quickly work quickly. So in one advantage with the Java supports the multi threading. So Java is the language. Java language supports the multi-threading. So this is the one of the feature available in Java. Java supports multi-threading. Java supports multi-threading. Java supports multi-threading. Java supports multi-threading. So what are the use cases? Like if you go with the thread-based multi-threading, what are the use cases? Use cases for multi-threading. Use cases to go for multi-threading. Multi-threading. Use cases to go for multi-threading. The use cases are like we will use regularly, like send the SMS to all the customers at a time, send SMSs to all customers at a time. Okay, and next send email to all the customers at a time. Send emails to all customers at a time, and generate and send the back statement to all customers in email. generate Generate and I can say send a bank statements send bank statements to all customers in a email, to all customers in a email all customers in email. So these are the some of the use cases. Thread based multitasking meaning to execute the program logics parallelly. Then we need to go for thread based multitasking, and using thread based multitasking our program So using thread-based multitasking, our program can complete work quickly, and Java supports the multi-threading and use cases to go for multi-threading. Use cases to go for the multi-threading, and these are the some use cases. Send SMSs to all the customers at a time. Send emails to all the customers at a time. And next, generate and send the bank statement to all the customers in email. In email. Next, note point is, so the main aim of multitasking is used to execute our program parallelly, execute our program logic our program logic parallelly, parallelly, and so that we can complete more work in less time. So that we can complete we can complete more work in less time, more work in less time. So that is our agenda. Go with the multi-threading. So we discuss what is task and what is single tasking and what is multitasking. Task meaning a small work. Single task meaning if any person can able to do at a time one work is called, that is called single tasking. Then if you go with the single tasking, what is the issue? It will take a lot of time to complete our work. So time is also very important, right? That is the reason JDK people, they bring us the topic, that is the multitasking. In that multitasking, in that multitasking, multiple we can perform multiple works at a time. Performing multiple works at a time is called multitasking. Okay, so what are the examples? Reading and listening music, reading and eating, and reading, writing. And if you perform multitasking, then we complete multiple works at a time. And multitasking, we can achieve the multitasking in two ways. One is the process based multitasking, and the second one is the thread based multitasking. So to execute our program logics parallelly, then we need to go for the thread based multitasking. And using thread based multitasking, our program can complete work quickly. Okay, Java supports multi-threading. What are the use cases to go for the multi-threading? The use cases are the sending SMSs to all customers at a time, and sending emails to all the customers at a time. Generate and send the bank statement to all the customers in email. The main aim of multitasking is used to execute our program logics parallelly, so that we can complete more work in less time. 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 Okay. Okay, fine. Okay, multitasking. Okay, fine. That is okay. Multi-threading. Okay, fine. Now the next point is, in Java we can create thread in two ways. In Java we can create thread in two ways. Thread in two ways. What are the two ways actually? One is, in Java we can create a thread in two ways. One is, yeah, before that, in Java, types of threads. Types of threads. So basically in Java, there are two types of threads. One is the user-defined thread, and the second one is, first one is the predefined thread, and second one is the user-defined thread. Predefined thread, and the second one is user-defined thread. There are two types of initially there are two types of thread, and First one is the predefined thread. Predefined thread meaning already defined the thread, and user defined thread meaning, so based on the requirement we will create our custom thread. Based on the requirement, based on the requirement we can create, we can create our own threads, our own threads, our own threads. So that is called user defined thread, or you can say reference thread, a reference thread. Okay, user defined thread. Okay, so when you can see the predefined thread, and when you normally user defined thread. So normal user defined thread. So we will only create the threads manually, but we'll try to understand predefined thread. So predefined thread, every Java, like whenever you are writing the Java program, that program might be the small program or a large any program. So by default we have the one method. By default we have the every program is executed by default one thread, that is main thread. That is main thread. That is main thread. So every program, every Java program, if you mention the thread or not mention the thread, every program, if the program is executing, if you are executing the program, so by default we have the one method, that is the we have one thread, that is the main thread. Through that main thread only our program is executing. Our program is executing. For example, write a Java program to print, write a Java program to get the details of main thread, to get the details of main thread, main thread. Okay, normally I can take one file and then I will show you. I will go to that specific ID. Here actually I can create, which is already available, right? Okay, so this is the normal demo class. Public class demo is the normal demo class. Normal demo class. Okay, here I would like to take one method. Main method I will take, and inside the main method I am taking few of the statements. Few of the statements, like I would say, this is the main method, and inside I would like to write some messages. Sysout statement, sysout statement, and some message I am writing some message. If I run this one, the program is displaying to us a message, but internally main thread will be there. Internally the main thread is executing. Okay, main thread is executing. So every Java program has by default main thread. So by default, if any program is executing, by default, which can have, which is executing internally, it is using the main thread. So how we can get the, how we can get main thread details? We can get by main thread details by using, for example, thread is the Java class actually. Thread is the predefined class which is available in the java.lang package. Already I showed, I provided to you one document as well. Go with the document and look for the, go with the java.lang package. Go with that java.lang package. Look for java.lang package. Go up, yeah, java.lang package. Click on that, and in that look for thread class. Yes, thread class. Click on that. Now see, this is the thread class. This is the thread class. My requirement is I want to print my thread name, and these all the details I want to print. If I want to print those all the details, then okay, this is the one class which is available in java.lang package. Normally this is the demo class, and thread is the one predefined class, and then which is available in java.lang package. How you can make the connection between two classes? By using thread and new, I would say new keyword, and then you can mention some current thread or anything. You can mention as the I would say current thread equal to new thread, new thread, and thread is created. Now in the thread where we have the methods, like I would say current thread dot dot current thread. Okay, and this again I am storing in one a reference variable. A reference variable normally can mention current normal thread, you can mention like as thread, and here also you can mention like as the thread, and this you can store in one reference variable that I can mention like as the current thread, and this data type is the class is thread. Are you guys observing what I'm doing? Thread. Okay, so here I'm taking sort statement, and here I want to know my thread name, get name, get name. Okay, so I'm save this one. If I run this one, now you can see main meaning main thread, main mean main thread. If you want to uh, if you want to know like group ID and priority and all, yes, you can see, simply can copy that statement, and then there are methods are available. So so actually what I'm doing here, thread is the predefined class, right? If you go with that thread class, or also directly can go like this control, if you double click on that, so this is the thread class, this is the thread class. And so this you can see here what are the methods are available and all. You go down, so see here the priorities and all, and go down. Sleep method, sleep wait method, and next how the clone method. Here you can look for get name method, get name method, click on that. You can see here set name method, get name method, set name, get name. So see, the methods are coming from parent of this class. So simply I'm making the connection between two classes. Thread is the predefined class, and from that we are calling a current thread method, current thread, which will give the a complete information about the thread. And from that we are like calling that thread name, and the next thread group. Get next one is thread group, get thread group, yes. So like that, if I save this one, if I run this one, we'll get the result. So this is belong to java.language thread group. You can mention thread priority as well. Get priority, get priority, dot get priority. Look for that priority, and then save the file. Can run the file priority. So see that the priorities, we have the priorities. So priority for the thread is highest priority is the 10 and lowest priority is the 1 and 5 is the normal priority. Normal priority. So this is one assignment to you. The assignment is write a Java program to get the details of main thread. Write the write write a Java program to print the get details of thread. So what I did here, I will explain one more time. This is already predefined class which is available in the java.lang package. So for all Java programs, java.lang package is the default package. Default package. So if you can directly can use all the classes which are available in the java.lang page, you can utilize without mentioning import statement. Why? Because java.lang package is the java.lang package is default package. Default package. If you mention or not mention also, by default it can access all the classes which are available under that package. It can allow, it can access. Okay, so thread is the predefined class. Thread is the predefined class which is available in java.lang package, which is available in java.lang package. Java.lang package. Okay, fine, very good. Now in that there are one method, that is the current thread method. The purpose of current thread method is to get the details of that method, so that we are getting all the details which are available here, and then one by one that name of that thread and group of that thread and priority of thread, we are accessing that. We are accessing all the name of that, group of that and priority of that we are accessing. So this is, we did a simple program. This is one assignment for you. The assignment is write a Java program. Write a Java program to get details of to get details of to get details of main thread to get details of main. So this is the program to print a details of main thread. To print a details of main thread. I hope you guys are clear with this point. I hope everyone is clear with these points. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Okay. Next, I can go ahead with the document. Types of threads. There are two types of threads. A simple program, we wrote a simple program. Now we can get the clarity. Oh, there really we have the one main thread, and you can able to get main thread results by using thread class. Thread class is available in the java.lang package. Through that, you can get all the details of that specific main thread details. Okay, fine, very good. Next, user defined thread. So user defined thread actually user defined thread, yeah. This user defined thread, you can create in Java. In Java, we can create thread in two ways. Thread in two ways. Yeah. So one thread is by extending one thread is by extending thread class is the one by extending thread class is the one way to create the thread. Second one is by implementing runnable interface. By implementing runnable interface. By implementing runnable interface. Okay. So far we discussed about the predefined thread. Predefined thread is done. Normally you can we took the normal program and there every program it will be executed by default by using main thread only. Main thread only. So main thread is called predefined thread. Okay, so predefined thread is clear. So there you can see where we have the main thread, and through that we are getting the details of that thread name, and that the thread is belong to which group, thread priority. These are all the details we saw, right? Now we can go ahead with the user defined thread. User defined thread you can create. This is the one assignment, guys. Now we can go ahead with one assignment. This is one assignment, and next one is in thread class. So first we'll try to understand by extending thread class. So I'm make it as the heading. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. What is the syntax? Syntax for if I ask the program, this is the one more assignment. Write a Java program to create a write a Java program. Write a Java program to create a user defined thread. User defined thread. User defined thread using thread class. Using thread class. This is one assignment I want to give you using thread class. Then how we can create the thread class? Normally Java program public class, and the Java program name is the demo. And from here to here, this is normal Java program only. But as my requirement is write a Java program user defined thread using thread class. Thread class. So how we can write? So thread is the predefined class. You can extend the thread class and next step. So thread class is having internally there are multiple methods. For example, I'm taking one method that is public void run method, and inside I'm taking some message which actually I can mention here. SOP meaning system.out.println. Here I would like to mention a run method calling. Run method calling. Okay, fine. Now we'll take a normal one method. I will take one more method. I would say public void m1 method, and from here to here this is the scope of the m1 method, and inside I would like to take so to statement, and here I would like to mention m1 method calling. M1 method calling. Okay. Now I will take the main method and then I will call the methods. I will call the method. So you guys, can you please observe what I'm doing? So I hope about main method is clear. So the threads, there are two types of threads are available. One is the main thread, I would say predefined thread. Second one is the user defined thread. User defined thread meaning, so based on the requirement, we will create our own threads. Then that is called user defined thread. Okay, fine. Now I will write one program. This is some this is the scope of the class. The class name is demo. Okay, now I would like to take the main method. This is the main method, and inside the main method, what actually I'm doing. Okay, so my requirement is what is my requirement? Write a Java program. Write a Java program to create user defined thread using using thread class. This is my requirement, right? Using thread class. This is my requirement. Okay, fine. Now Use thread class meaning we can extend the thread class. Okay, so inside I would like to take a few of the methods. One method is public void. I can mention method, and from here to here this is the scope of the class. And here I would like to take one more method, that is public void m1 method. Okay, fine. From here to here this is the scope of the m1 method. And inside run method I would like to take sysout statement, and here I would like to pass some dummy message, which is actually run method calling. Run method calling. Okay, fine. The same statement I am copying from there to here, and here I would like to mention m1 method calling. M1 method calling. Okay, fine. Now I will take main method. Inside the main method, okay, so inside the main method, so here thread is the child class, and then if you create the object for the child class, then obviously, for example, now I'm creating the object for thread class. Go to the main method. Yes, these are all the things we did already in the same program I am doing. So nothing new here. Okay, demo and okay, fine. Now object is created, and the next thing is, okay, object is created. Next one is we can create the object for the thread, meaning we can create the thread t equal to new thread, and for that the thread we are passing as input as d, input as d. Now t dot start method. So start is the method. Here you should be familiar with few of the methods: start method and run method. The purpose of start method, so when you use the start method, then only your thread will be executed. Your thread will be executed. That I will show you practically also. You can get the clarity on that. I'm running this one. So run method is calling. Run method is calling. Why only run method is calling? There are two methods. One is the M1 method and second one is the run method. When I am calling the thread, only run method is executing. Then what about M1 method? Only run method is executing. And what about run M1 method? What about run method? So here the point is when you call the start method internally it will call the run method. 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 Okay, if you don't use this one. Okay, next thing is Okay, that is okay, good. Now my concern is there are two types of threads. One is the main thread and second one is the user defined thread. Now this program is showing the result. So because of which thread? That is my concern. That is my question. The program is executing and displaying the result to us. That result is displaying to us because of which thread? Which thread? Because of user defined thread. User defined thread. So this is the process of creating user thread. We are creating the thread here. We created thread here. We created a thread here, and we are calling the thread method. We are calling the thread method. So here also we want to know like which method this one. I mean you want to know about the current thread details. Then what you can do, you can create the same process. I would say you can create a t dot current thread. That current thread you can store in some reference variable details variable. I'm storing in details variable. That details variable data type is the thread, and now I am calling all the information like details dot get name and details dot get name details the same name you can copy from there and then you can save here details dot get name like that. Okay, fine. Now I will cut this statement and then I will take one SOP statement, and in that system dot out dot println you can use shortcuts and then you can mention, you can save this one, you can run this one. So see here, main thread is only executing. You can set the name t dot current thread, and that current thread we are storing in one reference variable. From that we are returning the values. From that we are returning the values. Now we can set the name also. We can set the name also. So according to that, if we now can run this one. Now you can see here which thread is coming. User defined thread is executing. User defined thread is executing. User defined thread is executing. For example, if you comment this one, if you can comment this one, you can save the file. Now you can run this one. Now you can run this one. We are setting the name and we are printing the name. And when you call the user defined thread is printing. So what I did here actually, I will tell you one more time. This is the predefined thread. We created a simple object, and so in that we have the one more method, that is the current thread method, that we are taking from that, and then we are trying to print the name. We are trying to name of that thread. We are trying to print the name of that thread. We are trying to print the name of that thread. So here actually we want to know the details of this thread. So at the time, what you can do, you can mention thread dot details dot can take one more statement. Here you want to know the details of that specific thread. So if you want to know the details of that specific thread, so simply we can take a sysout statement, and that can mention here current thread name. You can copy this statement from here to here. T dot current thread details dot copy this details dot get the name. So what you can do, create object here. Inside the main method you can create one object thread t equal to new thread, and now t dot current thread. So this object already is created, right? You can save this one, t1 dot, and here also you can mention t1 dot current thread. So okay, this again you can store in some reference variable, current thread ct equal to the name is thread. Okay, now what I am doing in the print statement, I would like to mention ct dot get thread name. Here I can take sysout statement. In that I would like to mention ct dot get name. Okay, now here I am removing this name and save this one. Now I am running this program. Now you can see here there are two threads are running currently. One is the main thread and second one is the thread one. What is the thread one? Thread one is user defined thread, guys. So that we are discussing. So main thread already done. We discussed about the main thread. Main thread meaning every program will be having main thread. That is the predefined thread. And now we are discussing about the user defined thread. This is the user defined thread. So when you call the start method, internally user, when you call the start method, so one thread will be created and that method will be called by using this user defined method. That user defined method you can give your name also. You can give your own name also, your wish. That is your wish. For example, the ct dot set name. I would like to give some Java, and this is called predefined thread. I hope you guys are clear with this point. Okay, this is one way to create the thread, and there is another way to create the thread by using runnable interface. This is the one way to create, and we can create the thread by using runnable interface by implementing runnable interface. What is the syntax for by implementing runnable interface? Normally public class and demo and implements runnable from here to here. This is the scope of the class, and here you can take the methods. Normally public the both are doing the same purpose, but this is we can create the thread by using we can implement the thread by using runnable interface, and previous one we can implement the thread by using the thread class. Okay, fine. Now we can see here what I'm doing. The both are doing the same purpose. Here I would like to create a demo test, and this is the normal Java class. I am implements runnable interface. Click on that. You can override unimplemented methods. There we have only one method, that is the run method. Okay, so in that run method I would like to write some of the message, that is sysout statement. In that we are writing run method calling run method calling run method calling. Okay, fine. Now we can take a main method. In that main method I would like to create demo d equal to new demo, and then d dot. Okay, now we can create the thread. How we can create the thread? uh, Thread t equal to new thread and that we can pass as an input to that thread is created, and we can start the thread. start we can start the thread. When I'm running this one, you will get this one. But who is responsible to meaning which thread is executing internally? Our user defined thread. For example, if I run this one, the run method is calling the run method is calling run method is calling. So demo test can run. Click on this specific file. Click on this specific file. Run as Java application. Here you can mention some t5, and t5 start. Now you can run the file. Run method, and then we are setting the value, and then SMS threading. Go to the demo test. We created one thread, and we mentioned. So here I would like to mention other name, that is t5 dot. We can create a class, a thread t equal to new thread, and now t dot current thread. Okay, and that Here I can mention some name, thread. Okay, fine. Now I can take a sort statement. In that name dot get name. Okay, now here I would like to set the name as well. Name dot set name. Set name. Here I would like to set the name, which actually I can mention a runnable thread, or I can mention some runnable thread. Runnable thread. Okay. Set the name runnable thread, and next we mention run class and a t5 dot start method. T5 dot start method. Now we can go with that demo dot java. Can remove this one. Okay, now we can come here. Demo dot txt. Now we can run the file. Thread 1 is calling. Thread 1 is calling. Thread 1 is calling. Here you can mention the names. Name dot variable, and we are mentioning the name dot variable, name dot get name, t dot start, current thread get name, current thread name, and name dot set method, name dot set method, and thread 1 is executing. Thread 1 is executing. Thread 1 is executing. You can take some other variable like some tt, and then here also can take it also some tt, and here also can take it also some tt. Okay, save this one, and you can save this one and run this one. Run this one. Runnable is the interface, and which will have the one method, that is the run method. Now simply we create the object. We are creating the object here. We are creating the thread. We created the thread here. We created thread, and here we are calling start method. When we call the start method, when we call the start method, when we call the start method, internally, when we call the start method internally, it will call the internally it will call the internally it will call the run method. Internally it will call the run method. Internally it will call the run method. Save the file. Now here you can see we created the object, and we want to know the name of that current thread, and we are setting the value, and we are printing the value. So click simply. Here you can look for all predefined methods. Get name. So get the string name. Go to the demo test. Now save the file. Delete dot. Remove this one. Run this thread. Run this run method is calling, and the thread one is printing. Thread one is printing. Now here you can set the name t5 dot set a name. Here you can give the name, which actually you can give some name which actually runnable. Save this one, run this one, run this one. So this is the custom thread. So now you can understand, we can implement the thread in two ways. One is by using thread class, and the second one is the runnable interface. The purpose of the both is the same. Then in the interview perspective, they will ask, okay, fine, we can create the user defined thread in two ways. That is very good. Then at what time we'll go with the runnable interface? At what time we'll go with the thread class? This is damn sure question in the interview perspective they will ask. Question is, what is the difference between thread class and a runnable interface, and which is the recommended approach? So thread we created, so far we saw like we can create the thread in two ways. One is by using thread class, and second one by using a runnable interface. Now they will ask the question in that area. The question is, you can create the user defined thread in two ways. That is okay, very good. At what time, which is the recommended approach? Thread class is the recommended approach, or runnable interface is the recommended approach? Thread class is the recommended approach, or runnable is the recommended approach? That is the question they will ask. The question is, what is the difference between extending the thread class and implementing the runnable interface? Extending the thread class and implementing a runnable interface, which is the recommended approach? Which is the recommended approach? Which is the recommended approach? This is the question they will ask. This is the question they will ask. So if we implement runnable interface, if you implement a runnable interface, then in future we can extend the properties from any classes. We can extend the properties from any class. We can extend the classes from any class based on the requirement. Based on the requirement. Meaning So if you go with the runnable interface here, our gate is open for inheritance concept. Our gate is open for inheritance concept. Inheritance concept. Inheritance concept. But if you go with the thread class, if you go with the thread class, we cannot. We can. If you go with the thread class, our gate is not. Our gate is closed for inheritance concept. Meaning, if we extend the uh, if we extend the thread class, then in future we cannot extend from the properties. We cannot extend the properties from any class, meaning our gate is closed, our inheritance gate is closed, inheritance gate is closed, inheritance gate is closed. Okay, so that is the reason recommended approach is second one. So always whenever you are, if you want to create any thread, the recommended approach is you can create the thread by using the runnable interface. The recommended approach is you can create the thread by using a runnable interface. Runnable interface. Runnable interface. So far what we did. So I give the summary. So we learned about what is task. What is task? We learned about what is task, and we learned about what is single tasking, and we learned about multitasking, and we learned about types of threads, types of threads, and types of threads. There are two types of threads. One is the user defined thread, and the second one is first one is predefined thread, and the second one is user defined thread. Second one is user defined thread. This user defined thread you can implement in two ways. One is by using a thread class, and the second one by implementing runnable interface. By implementing runnable interface. Runnable interface. So today what you guys will do, write a Java program to print a details of the predefined thread, that is the one program. And second program is write a Java program to create one thread by using thread class, that is the second program. And third program is write a Java program and to create a thread by using runnable interface. These are the three programs: predefined thread, user defined thread in two ways. Okay, by creating I would say uh, by implementing runnable interface. Okay, and user defined thread you can create in two ways: thread class by using runnable interface. The three assignments you can do and then share in the group with the task names. Okay, so we'll continue tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll complete the threading concept. Okay.